homes built in half the time with a better price tag. One Seattle-based developer is working to make these options a reality.
After a showery couple of days, we're going to be drying out in the first alert forecast, but not for long. I'll tell you about the next round of rain on the way.
Plus, a local organization trying to connect people impacted by the Gray Fire to the funding they desperately need to make sure no one is forgotten. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. And thanks for staying up with us for Nightside. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. It has been almost 2 months since the Gray Fire destroyed over 200 homes in Medical Lake. And while people continue to recover, one organization is trying to connect victims to funding to make sure no one is forgotten. Our Rania Kaur reports on the resources available for people wondering what to do next.
Starting next Wednesday, Red Cross will be here at the Reimagine Medical Lake office. That's saying that's not the only thing Reimagine Medical Lake tells me they're doing in order to help people with the recovery. Joe Stanfield's favorite thing in his home,
I absolutely love my wood stove,
will have to be replaced.
but it's no longer around. It's not going to work now.
Along with the rest of his things
It's a love-hate thing.
that he hasn't sorted through.
It's done. It's time to move on.
His home completely burned in the Gray Fire.
I know that 3 months down the road is radically different.
In the beginning, Joe says people were there.
I've already noticed it in my own circles to a small degree.
Now he feels people have moved on from what happened in Medical Lake.
I do fear for people being lost, though. I really do.
At Reimagine Medical Lake, Jerry Johnson says they're trying their best to make sure people don't get lost.
We're in it for that long haul.
The organization is helping to distribute funding that was raised. That includes with Inovia.
We are working to find out just how we're going to get those grants divided up. Again, 240 homeowners. We're getting that grant application process, and we're forming a local committee.
They're also working with Salvation Army.
We're working with the Salvation Army to get 2 individuals that are coming to our community that will be working with each individual homeowner.
Stanfield just hopes the rest of the community doesn't forget.
And the rush comes in and then tapers off. And then, so where do you go from there? Where's the follow-up on that? And that's what I want our community as a whole. I hope Spokane will see that there's still a need here, regardless.
For more information on any of the resources mentioned, you can go to this story on our website at kxly.com. In Medical Lake, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Many families impacted by the Oregon Road fire are now living in temporary shelters, some without basic utilities. But volunteers are working to change that before winter temperatures get a lot colder. This couple in Elk is living in a donated trailer. The fire destroyed nearly all of their property. Only their garage survived. Volunteers with the New Hope Resource Center have been helping them out. They restored all of their basic utilities, including sewer, power, and water.
If it wasn't for New Hope, I don't know, I probably would have just walked away from it, you know. Sad to say, but I just wasn't financially set to do anything.
Volunteers are doing the best they can, and they're asking for more people to help restore basic necessities for people in Elk. For more information on ways that you can volunteer, visit our website, kxly.com. Our annual Coats for Kids campaign is in full swing, accepting donations through October, ready to collect your new and gently used coats for kids in our community. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is our queen of Coats for Kids.
Wow. When was I
have a crown for you in my car. I must have forgotten it. And today was very fun. You were at one of the collection sites, Papa Murphy's in Coeur d'Alene.
Yes, and all of the Papa Murphy's in the Inland Northwest are collecting coats. You'll get $4 off your pizza. It's what we had at my house for dinner tonight. Oh my goodness, was that delicious. But also feeling good, dropping off coats at Papa Murphy's. We're going to be out again at flying squirrel in Spokane Valley next Wednesday. Right now, I'm watching the radar and the last of a few sprinkles coming to an end, and we are going to start to see some patchy fog developing. So if you're an early riser, you may wake up with that fog, but it shouldn't be around for long. High temperatures today were well below average. We were in the 50s. Our average highs in the lower 60s. It was 51 in Pullman, 52 in Sandpoint and Colville, a few 60s around the region, but those were below average. Our high temperatures tomorrow will be a little bit warmer. We'll see more upper 50s and even into the mid 60s in some locations. Again, with some patchy fog to start the day, and we're going to be bottoming out in the low 40s in Spokane. I'll show you some low temperatures around the region in just a few moments, heading up to a high temperature of 59 degrees. Air quality should be in the good range, and I will be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Right now, let's toss it over to Julian. Hi, Julian.
Well, thank you, Chris. Time for a quick look at sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. The Gonzaga women's basketball team is in familiar territory. The Bulldogs were picked to win the WCC for the second straight season. Gonzaga has won the regular season conference title in 17 of the last 18 seasons, and a few Zags also earned some individual honors as well. Kaylin and Kaylee Trong, Yvonne Ejim, and Brenna Maxwell were all named to the preseason All-WCC team. Now, Portland was picked to finish just behind the Bulldogs in the preseason poll. Gonzaga lost to Portland in the WCC tournament championship game last season. I'm sure the Zags will be looking for revenge there. Now, you can catch Gonzaga in action for the first time this year at the team's annual Fan Fest event. Tip-off is at 3 o'clock on Saturday at McCarthy Athletic Center. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Julian. Well, the man accused of murdering a family of 4 in Kellogg, Idaho, wants the charges dismissed. Major John Kaler pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of murder last month. He is accused of killing Kenneth and Kenna Gardapi, 18-year-old Devin and 16-year-old Aiken Smith. His legal team argues the state hasn't shown sufficient evidence to charge him with first-degree murder. His attorney says the killings were not, quote, willful, deliberate, and premeditated. Investigators say Kaler admitted to law enforcement the night of the murders that he snapped and killed all 4 victims. Kaler's trial has been set for January 9th. With the help of the FBI, the Spokane Police Department tracked down a 14-year-old boy who admitted to sending out a school threat on social media in late September. Extra precautions, were taken that day at many schools across Spokane. The district sent out a text to parents alerting them about the threat, and according to court documents, at first the boy denied it, then said he did it as a joke. The FBI was able to trace the digital information on the threat back to the boy's house. Well, what if you could build a home in half the time that's better for the environment and more affordable? One Seattle-based developer is working to make that a reality. We'll tell you the details next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
This week's Washington Trust Shred location is at the Northgate branch.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
He's got the stars.
Yeah.
The studs.
I don't remember a time in my life I didn't watch his shows.
And the unexpected.
I've always thought of you as Dave Jr. Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new weeknights on ABC. Disney on Ice presents Frozen and Encanto. Celebrate the power of love. Y Familia. Coming to Spokane Arena October 20th through 22nd. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details.
This time of year, conditions can change drastically in minutes. For weather that extreme, you need the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Team. Online, on the air, and on the app. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Krystexxa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Krystexxa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Krystexxa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Krystexxa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Krystexxa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
It was in August. Fires raged through our area. This one, the Gray Fire in Medical Lake. Homes destroyed, trees destroyed along with it. They've got to come down and get moved out for the rebuild. We're here in mid-October to help move them. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by and with volunteers from Horizon Credit Union.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Childcare is at risk of becoming even more expensive and less accessible. At the end of September, $24 billion worth of federal childcare stabilization grants ended. This loss threatens to close childcare centers, increase the cost of the ones that are left, and causes even more issues for parents. Community-minded Enterprises aims to help by connecting families to childcare providers with openings in Spokane and the Tri-Cities. This is through a new program paid for by state grants.
So parents can find a provider quickly, and a provider can find them quickly, and so that we can maximize the slots that are available.
Last month, Democratic lawmakers introduced a bill that would give $16 billion in standalone child care funding over the next 5 years. In the meantime, more effects of this loss include cost and retention of staff. For more information on how community-minded help can help you, visit our website, kxly.com. Well, the average score students received on the ACT college admission test reached a new 30-year low. It is now 19.5 out of 36. ACT scores have been on the decline for 6 straight years, long before COVID, but many experts say standardized tests are not good predictors of college success. The University of Chicago found high school grade point averages are 5 times better at forecasting success. Many schools, including Harvard, no longer require applicants to submit standardized test scores for admission.
That will save some stress, won't it? Here's a look at our current temperatures across the region. It is chilly. We are in the 40s in many locations and have already dropped into the 30s in Colville and Sandpoint. Our overnight lows tonight will be, well, I've got to correct my Sandpoint temperature since it's at 38. However, with that fog developing, you might actually see your temperature increase a degree or 2 as we get into the overnight. Once that fog develops, the cool down comes to an end. 40 in Pullman for an overnight low, 39 in Ritzville, in the 40s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, right around the Spokane area. Mid-30s for a morning low in Deer Park, and Spirit Lake will be in the upper 30s in Cheney, Spangle, and in Meade. Here's a look now at our forecast for tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies, a mix of sun and clouds, at times more clouds than sun. 59 degrees for a high. If we get a little more sunshine, we could hit 60. Here's a look at our satellite and radar, and we've got this area of low pressure that is moving out of the region. That is snow showing up there in western Montana, pretty much right on time, but high pressure is building in for tomorrow and Friday, and then we'll start to see some changes partway through the day on Saturday. A slight chance of rain, mainly late Saturday. A better chance, though, as we get into Sunday and Monday. Here's a look at your planning forecast. We're warming up for Friday, 65 degrees, 63 on Saturday with that slight chance of showers, the clouds increasing throughout the day, and then a better chance of rain for Sunday and Monday. Although temperatures will be only staying right around average, not much cooler, and then a better chance of rain still on Tuesday, Overnight lows through the 7-day forecast, mostly in the 40s. We do have a cool night tomorrow night into Friday. I've got Wildlife Wednesday in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Well, the Spokane Parks Department wants to spend $11 million to renovate several parks, and they plan on asking you to pay for it on the February ballot. Interim City Administrator Garrett Jones says it's been 15 years since the last master plan for the parks. He says it's time to give the parks a makeover with everything from new play equipment to new restrooms.
Sports courts, pickleball, disc golf, pump tracks, other type of multi-use sports facilities, potentially additional, synthetic fields as well to be able to expand our service.
The park board will review the plan, and then the city council will decide on the levy funding in November. If approved, voters will see it on their ballots next year. Well, what if you could build a home in half the time that's better for the environment and more affordable? That's the goal of one Seattle-based developer. Today, Washington's Commissioner of Public Lands, Hillary Franz, visited the Spokane Valley Mass Timber facility that is producing the products to do just that. Green Canopy Node, the developers behind this project, say that this townhouse was built in less than 100 days and is the start of a long-awaited partnership with Spokane Valley Mass Timber facility, Mercer, to create homes that are built faster and more affordably.
If you think about all of the wood that's in this building, it's like a carbon battery. We're taking it out of the environment and storing it so that it's not burnt, it's not wasted, it's not rotting and releasing methane, right? And we are designing these buildings to last, over 100 years, 150 years is our target.
Developers say there's no one solution to the current housing crisis, but they hope that this can be a step in the right direction.
Now we've been able to take that environmental challenge of dying, dead, diseased trees and burn into the atmosphere and turn it into a wood product that actually can make our built environment cleaner and greener, and it also can help truly build at a faster pace and scale the kinds of homes that we need to address our housing crisis.
Well, right now, developers are starting to roll out these homes on the west side of the state, but they are looking for opportunities in Spokane to develop things like apartments, townhomes, and single-family homes in the near future. Still ahead, the story of a girl and her pet chicken who never lets her catch the bus to school alone. Next on Nightside.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Save thousands on the new Revolutionary Swim Spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Sunday. 2 locations, Spokane and Pasco. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only. New 2023 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center and Hapo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
My name is Stephen, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I had a large tumor in my left lung in November of 2018. We went through in 2020 doing a lot of end-of-life planning. Summit was very aggressive in my treatment of diagnosis. Since then, with my recovery, we're doing a lot of life events. I love the people there. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center. My wife calls it a miracle.
Dear road rivals, you may have 4 wheels, headlights, and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. You see, the Camry's been named best-selling car in America. But cheer up, wannabe twinsies. If you try harder, maybe you can catch up. Later, Toyota.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Who is Culligan? Your local water experts since 1936. The world's most efficient water softener. Safer drinking water in every glass. Convenient, reliable delivery. Industry-leading technology. Here for every water worry.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
This week's Washington Trust Shred location is at the Northgate branch.
For more than a month now, the Rainbow Crosswalk at 12th and Perry in Spokane has been vandalized. It's been tagged, graffitied, and even completely covered in paint. Now, thanks to the help of some volunteers, it's back to looking nearly brand new. The crosswalk is right in front of Odyssey Youth Movement, an LGBTQ+ facility. It's been a long month for this youth center. Cleaning paint off a crosswalk isn't easy. One volunteer says she's felt awful for Odyssey with all of the hate that it's received, and she wants to make sure that these kids who are going to Odyssey know that their community loves them.
I think that being youthful and queer is hard enough in itself, and that they have a place that they can go and feel very safe, which some of them don't have that anywhere else in their life.
There will be more support for Spokane's queer community tomorrow. Odyssey will host a pop-up pride event in the Perry district, and everyone is encouraged to go be themselves, show support for the LGBTQ+ community. Well, you've heard the old joke, how did the chicken cross the road? In this case, a leash helped, at least in this particular situation in North Kingston, Rhode Island, where a pet chicken on a leash is just a regular sight. Sam Reed has the story.
As the sun starts to rise in North Kingstown and kids get ready for school, 4 feathered friends in the back of the Taylor's home have a bite of breakfast.
They all get treated like royalty.
But Brownie, a cream leg bar chicken, doesn't get too comfortable.
First thing in the morning, they want to go out and they want to see their chickens.
Because she knows 9-year-old Hannah and her 5-year-old sister Mila are coming.
In the beginning, all the chickens were equally snuggled. And then as time went on, Brownie seemed to be the favorite.
To show admiration to the animals, and so they're not cooped up in a coop.
Hi, girls.
A hot pink leash was purchased.
So I was in my office one day and the kids came in and said, Mom, we really want to buy a chicken leash. They went to their piggy bank and they got their money that they'd saved up over the summer.
Yes, we love Brownie so very much. Hannah says her chicken's happiness and health is imperative.
I want them to, for their legs to get stronger. Yeah, hold Brownie. So they can actually get some exercise besides our backyard.
And after doing some research and watching several videos,
Go under, because she's very cute.
Brownie is safely strapped in and ready to roll.
Brownie is very sweet to us, so we want to be sweet to her by taking her on a walk, taking her to new places.
Places like outside of their big backyard.
She just gets kind of excited when the leash is on because she knows it's time to go for a walk.
Because let's be honest, what kid doesn't like a little show and tell?
The kids every day want to bring something to the bus stop.
And so a few weeks ago, the sisters asked if Brownie could send them off to school.
I think it's hilarious.
Side by side, their pet pounds the pavement, but sometimes gets distracted.
I felt really happy because I think Brownie really enjoyed it, how she got to see a new thing.
Leading her on a leash has become a part of their regular routine. And the first time students on their bus saw Brownie waiting in the wind, they couldn't get enough.
All of the boys and girls in the back standed up and they kept looking at the chicken because it was so funny how the chicken just had a leash.
Cautious and careful, their chicken doesn't cross the road. Having Brownie at the bus stop starts their day on the right foot.
Good morning, girls!
And they hope it's the same for her.
It certainly makes me happy, and I know the kids get a kick out of it too. And go to school, get on the bus with a big smile on their face.
Well, we have big smiles on our faces after that story, and I also might need a chicken. But after seeing this, my love of porcupines has tapered off a little bit. Mark both shared this photo, and this fella needs to go to the dentist. No, he's bugling. Well, Mark said he's either bugling for a mate or he's yawning because Mark is boring him. But I think it's probably the former. But that is quite a set of choppers on that guy. Oh, Helga hikes. Boy, I got to do that Scotchman's Peak hike. She shared this photo of a mountain goat friend up there on Scotchman's, and just a gorgeous shot. She had a hike on Wednesday, beautiful day, and some beautiful company. Jerry Rawls spotted this darling baby moose, and Mama Moose right behind, as you can see, enjoying some greenery. Seth Groth. Gorgeous shot of a great blue heron at Cannon Hill Park in the lily pads, and you can see the reflection in the background of the red foliage. Just stunning. Elena Nelson, big old bull moose in the fall colors. So healthy with that coat just glistening. And finally, a couple of photos that need a little explanation. My very first ever Wildlife Wednesday photo is on the left. Little chipmunk up at Mount Spokane at the Vista House I spotted this week. And Kirsten, what did you tell us about this other photo?
Well, that was the, what did we decide that it was?
Oh, it is a white-tailed deer. Yeah, you can't see its buns, but it's a white-tail. Yeah.
So many deer are in our neighborhood at night. We catch them on our surveillance cameras. You can see them just walking down the street. But this one was just waiting there in front of one of the neighbors' homes. And I thought he was a statue because he's so quiet and just staring at me.
He is staring at you, yes. I still do see a little tuft of white there, but
so cute.
Yes.
But I didn't get too close.
Oh, I can tell.
I knew the drill.
Yes, so there we go, our first and potentially last Wildlife Wednesdays.
We'll get better. I'll get a better camera.
I don't think I will. Leave it to Mark and the rest of the gang.
That's right. Thanks, Chris. Well, hey, the Federal Reserve could soon raise interest rates again. That's according to the minutes from the Fed's September meeting. Most Fed officials say they believe another increase would be appropriate. For now, though, financial markets are counting on the Fed, leaving interest rates alone in November with the possibility of an increase in December. Still ahead in sports, when the Cougars can expect wide receiver Lincoln Victor to return and how it impacts Saturday's matchup against Arizona. That's next on 4 News Now.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
The kidnapping of Jacob Wetterling would become one of the biggest mysteries in Minnesota history.
Who would take a child? Who would do this?
Now, new details of how one of the biggest cold cases broke wide open.
We may finally have an answer to a mystery over 25 years old.
And now, Jacob's parents speak.
A guy wearing a mask took your son. He gets snatched by somebody?
Snatched. David Muir, Deborah Roberts, the all-new 2020, Friday night on ABC.
We love our house, but lately we've been feeling a little cramped.
So we talked to ICCU about a new home loan. The process was super quick, and we got a really great rate.
We start house hunting tomorrow.
Preferably something with a bigger garage.
Did you see this? It says most people are going to need long-term care that health insurance and Medicare won't cover.
I saw that, and it got me thinking, if I need to pay for home modifications or in-home care, I am not prepared. Are you?
Not really. I mean, whatever happens, I just want to know that I'll be able to get care and stay in my own home as I age.
Right? I want that too. So,
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
It's time for 4 News Now's Coats for Kids. Just drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate to Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Your locally owned Papa Murphy's is proud to be part of Coats for Kids this year.
Now through the end of October, bring in a coat donation to any Eastern Washington or North Idaho Papa Murphy's location.
And receive a $4 off coupon good for any large or family-sized pizza.
Come on, Doc, give it to me straight. What's the good news and bad news? Well, the bad news is Washington State football will most likely be shorthanded against Arizona on Saturday. Wide receiver Lincoln Victor could be out at least another week. The good news is Victor has been active in practice. Head coach Jake Dickert says Victor's status for Saturday's game against Arizona remains uncertain, but it's good news he's been running around. Victor suffered an ankle injury in the win over Oregon State last month. Victor has 3 touchdowns and is a team captain for the Cougars this season. So safe to say the team is counting down the days until his return.
Link is out here running around. He's getting better by the day. Don't necessarily know if it'll be this week, but I think he's running around.
Wide receiver Josh Kelly is expected to play this week. Kelly came out of Saturday's game against UCLA with an injury. Tight end Cooper Mathers and defensive lineman Quinn Roth are uncertain for the Arizona game. Mathers is working his way back from a strained hamstring. Roth has been sidelined with an arm injury he suffered in the Wisconsin game last month. Kickoff between the Cougs and the Wildcats is at 4 o'clock on Saturday in Pullman. Washington State men's basketball is a major underdog heading into this season. The Cougars were picked to finish 10th place in the Pac-12. So in response, Washington State posted this picture of guard Joseph Yesufu just chilling without a care in the world. Looks like the Cougars aren't listening to the haters. The Cougars had a 17-17 record and were knocked out in the first round of the NIT last season. Washington State will be without star center Mohamed Gay, who was a second-round draft pick in the NBA. 12 of the 18 players on the WSU roster are either transfers or freshmen, the most notable being Kansas transfer Yesufu. WSU is looking to return to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2009, and Cougars head coach Kyle Smith says he's built a team that could do just that.
I think that's the next step for our program. Like I said, we were trying to build, and obviously had some setbacks with losing some guys, but if we're ever going to be good, you're going to have to get there just based on like the talent that Cal's accumulated and making a jump. Oregon State's a year older, and they got good young players, and just the league top to bottom, and not to mention obviously Arizona, USC with one of the best point guards in the country. So I think finish top half. Let's do it. Top half should get it. Let's get 6 teams in.
Arizona is the favorite to win the conference, followed by USC and UCLA. The first time that the Wildcats have actually been projected to take first place in the Pac-12 since 2017. Washington State opens the season on November 6th at home against Idaho. And this season has been a work in progress for the Spokane Chiefs. The team has lost 3 straight games. It's the first case of adversity the team has faced all season long. Spokane had a chance to take a step in the right direction tonight. As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey. Chiefs hosting the last place team in the Western Hockey League, the Kamloops Blazers. First period is where we picked this one up. Chiefs trailing 1-0. The Blazers will get the puck on a 2-on-1 fast break right here, but Chiefs goalie Cooper Michaluk is an absolute wall in the net. Huge save for Spokane to keep the Chiefs within 1 score. Michaluk was busy in the net tonight. The Blazers intercept the puck here. Point blank shot is stopped again by Michaluk. He was blocking everything but the Wi-Fi tonight. Spokane would take the lead late in the 3rd period by a goal from Berkeley Canton. The Chiefs earned their first home victory of the season by a final of 3-2. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
What I want people to know about Numerica's involvement is that it's genuine.
I work at a company that supports the community because we're a part of it.
It's important to give back to the community you live in. We are truly here to help, and we're passionate about it.
Did you know Idaho high school seniors graduating next spring are eligible for up to $8,000 in grant money for career training and education through Idaho Launch? Funds can be used to cover the cost of apprenticeships, job training, community college, and university programs that lead to in-demand careers. Funds are limited. Apply today. Students choose their own path, and Idaho Launch helps pay for it. Idaho Launch. Support in every direction.
Don't shop in the cold. R&R RV in North Spokane has over 120 RVs indoors at 525 East Francis. Right now, save thousands with huge year-end discounts and clearance pricing. The time to buy is now. Don't shop in the cold. Shop over 120 RVs indoors. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, all indoors at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or online at rnrrv.com.
Spokane's homeless plan is not working. In the last 6 years, Spokane's homeless rate has nearly doubled, while the U.S. rate barely increased. And while many unhoused persons genuinely need a helping hand, others have accelerated Spokane's problems of crime and open drug use. Similar-sized U.S. cities don't have these problems, but Spokane became home to the largest homeless camp in the state of Washington. Why Spokane? Hear the answer at curingspokane.com.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Alrighty, we've got 2 3/4 of days of better dry. Saturday's mostly going to be dry, and even on Sunday we'll get some good breaks.
Yeah. I like that, 2 3/4.
Yeah.
It's like the Harry Potter spot where they go through the wall.
Oh, yes.
I digress. Have a great night.